We're joined with Trine softball coach Donnie Danklefsen. Coach, how are you?
Very good. Thanks for having me.
You have an interesting story about how you became the Trine softball coach way back in 2004, so you've been doing this for like 15 years now.
Yes.
Tell us how you got started here at Trine.
Well, basically, they gave me the admissions job and a JV basketball job to get me involved in basketball. And then after 1 year, they called me and said, "Do you want to be the softball coach?" And I thought it was a prank. I thought they were really messing with me. And I've been around the game my whole life. My mom was a high school coach for years. I had 3 sisters that played in high school, 1 in college as an All-American. So I was the youngest of 5, going to softball tournaments every weekend and being around the game. Never would have picked this route. Had me right place, right time, and actually called my brother and said, "Hey, this is what they talked to me about." And he said, "What do you think?" I said, "I have no idea." He said, "Do you think you can coach?" And I said, "Yes, I think I can coach." He goes, 90% of it is people relations and 10% X's and O's. Take the job, learn the game, teach kids how to win, and go from there. And 16 years later, here I am.
And 9 conference championships later and an incredible run last year. You look back at the success you've had already. I know you're in the middle of it now, but that's got to feel pretty gratifying.
It's been a great run.
Yeah.
Hopefully there's a lot more better to come yet, but had some great players come in, buy into our culture, work hard, and really care about the process and the program more than themselves, and you saw wins start to come from that.
I wanted to talk to you about last year a little bit. Obviously, you lose in the MIAA tournament, and then you turn around and make it all the way through to the national semifinals. When you look back at that historic run, what kind of sparked it? After losing the conference tournament, how do you go on a run like that?
Well, we had 2 choices. We could feel sorry for ourselves, or we could use it as motivation. So I told them, "Hey, you guys are the team of first. No one's ever gone 0-2 in the conference tournament since I've been here as a Trine team or Tri-State team. So, team of first." And then finally going to Paul, and we're 0-3 down there. So, hey, let's be a team of first again and win this. And you really just saw them come together, refocus. Conference tournament's the worst tournament of the week year for us because it's during final exams, it's during graduation. We're in and out of graduation, kids walk, ran out to the field, 15-minute warm up and go. And a rain delay, obviously the weather was bad, so it's just the whole weekend's a mess. They haven't slept in 2-3 days. The engineers, half the team is fine, half the team hasn't slept. So you never know what you're going to get. So after that, we got to refocus. Obviously, down to DePaul, we've been there for a good season. It was a comfortable facility for us, and the best thing about it was after the conference tournament, you get your individual awards right before then. And Laney, who obviously had a great tournament that weekend, said, I called her on the phone, "Hey, your first team all conference." And her exact comment was, "I could care less. I've never been, I could care less. I want to go to a World Series, national tournament, sorry, NCAA. And we're going to do it. We're going to win that. We're getting regional, doesn't matter, we're going to win that. And I'm going to make sure we get there." And 4 home runs later, a double, great defense. She put us on her back, and we got to come back home and play Super Regional at home, and we all know what happened then.
I looked on YouTube this morning. Your trick play video is at 267,000 views on YouTube. I know that's something you had practiced a little bit, and you've talked about this before, but as we go into this season, that's the moment that people remember, right? That incredible moment
Yes.
with that trick play. Can you just tell us how you got the idea to run it at that moment?
Well, Coach Smith brought it with him, so I can't take any credit for it. And we actually forgot about it all year long. And 2 days prior to that tournament, we said, "We should probably put this in." So we threw it in, and it was 2 outs. I walked down other than the dugout, Coach Smith on opposite ends, it's safer that way. And he said, "Hey, let's put it." Well, what if it doesn't work? I go, "We're like idiots. If it works, we're going back to Texas." And 4 years ago at Emory, did the same thing. Ran the same play, it worked perfectly. Texas, we win. So I said, "I got the same shirt on. It's got to be good luck. Let's go." And luckily for us, it worked. The best part about it was the parents had never seen it, so they all fell for it. Our camera guy fell for it, right, Colin? And it worked perfectly. And just after that, it's just a blur after that for a couple minutes.
It's one thing to call it, but then your players have to execute it, and they
Yes.
executed it perfectly.
They did. What always happens is a pinch runner always helps because they get in the game to score.
Right.
And then to score. And when the center fielder dives and the left and right come flying across, they look up and they see that and they instantly just take off. And they sold it so well. And the best thing about it, Kate, who has the worst poker face on the team, is the one that really sold it. And she's pouting. We always say, "The kid Toys R Us didn't get your toy." That's how you have to act as the pitcher. And she pouted and stomped her feet, and she looked at her and took off, and it worked well.
It sure did. So you return the MIAA Player of the Year in McKenna Hartline, the Pitcher of the Year as well, and Hannah Camperman. Now, I know that McKenna's out for a little while, but you have a lot of talent returning this year, don't you?
We do. We're really excited about what we've come back. We had some really good young pieces, but the leadership has been great. We have a quarterback behind the plate who gives a really good presence back there. Hannah's back in shape, ready to go. Has been injured earlier this a couple months ago, but shoulder looks great now. She's back in full form. And I think Kayla Hartland's the one to have a breakout year. We kind of got to see her step up in the World Series a little bit and show what she's capable of. And she's came back right in the fall on the same track. And the rest of our upperclassmen, Mercedes Doherty, might play second this year, looks really good. She's worked hard to get in better shape and working on her glove work. I think offensively, we could be even better than last year.
So McKenna and Michaela are twin sisters.
Yes.
What is that dynamic like on the team? Do they fight? Do they get along well? What is that like to have twins?
They bicker every once in a while, but they're both such good kids. They might yell a little bit, they see another hugging, and it's over. But they challenge each other, they push each other. They both lead differently. Kayla's a little more outgoing. Kenna's more just by example. But both of them bring something to the team that really makes everyone feel comfortable. And if you always watch them, they're always giving high fives, they're always hugging each other, hugging their teammates, and they just make everybody feel so welcome.
So you head out soon for Florida. You'll play some non-conference games down there. What does your team get out of that trip?
Well, like last year, we had about 6 or 7 different starting lineups. Hopefully find out who we are, find out what works well together, what combinations. We have a bigger pitching staff this year, try to figure out their rotations. Basically just kind of see where we're at, where we have to get to come back before we get into conference play.
So what about newcomers, maybe people that Trine softball teams haven't heard about or seen in the past? Do you have some kids coming up that can contribute that maybe our listeners or viewers don't know about?
As a freshman class? Yes, we have a couple freshmen we're really excited about. The whole class itself is very athletic. Almost every one of them could help us at some point, and I think we'll start 3 or 4 of them this year. And Ellie Trine from Kokomo, Indiana, is an outfielder, lefty with speed and power. Look at a smaller kid, but not a slapper, can swing away really well. Amanda Prather out of Roncalli will probably play shortstop until Kenna gets back. I think she'll be one of the better players in conference as a freshman. And then Anna Copel, freshman pitcher, and Katie Nebdal are both going to be on the mound quite a bit for us. Both bring a little different pitches. But as a class overall, athletic, we need some speed, we got it. A couple more offensive weapons, we got that, and they all just work really hard.
I talked to Brooke Cunningham about the team a lot. She does some games with us on the Trine Broadcasting Network. And when she talks about you, she just says, Coach D is a really honest man. I mean, he doesn't mess around. He tells you what he's thinking. You know where you stand with him. And she says that with your team, that really works. They appreciate the transparency, and you treat them like adults. And I think a lot of them appreciate that. Is that a characterization of your approach?
Yeah, I want them to know what we're thinking.
Yeah.
If we pull a kid out, I'm going to explain to them exactly why, and try to have this exact same tone we have. And we're going to treat them like adults so they'll act like adults.
Yeah.
And with females and even male athletes, as long as you explain what you're doing, why you're doing it, they understand. They might not agree with you, but at least they'll understand. So we try to be upfront and honest and let them know ahead of time what's going on, what we're thinking. And most part, that's worked really well for us.
So do you get to play any round ball anymore, or are you pretty much on the softball diamond?
Every once in a while. Still try to stay in shape and play when I can, but softball takes quite a bit of time, and then after that, it's family time.
For sure, 100%. Well, Trine starts the season March 1st, Claremont, Florida versus Northland College. You've accomplished so much already, but I get the feeling that as far as you're concerned, the best is yet to come.
I hope so. And we have a goal. I mean, you never lay in bed and say, I want to finish third.
Right.
Third's great, but we want to win the whole thing. Each year, rookies working, hopefully one year that'll go our way.
Best of luck to you, Coach.
Thank you.